So right now, I'm just going to give you a little bit about my background. Thank you, Michael, for saying it was impressive. It was just my life. I actually worked for 25 years in medical research at UNC. I live in North Carolina. And I focused on a variety of topics that included studies on gram-negative bacteria and brown lung disease. I helped build and design analytical equipment that actually measured the flexibility of red blood cell membranes. This was for sickle cell research. And then near the end of my career, the last 10 years of my career, I was helping in a lab that was investigating how inflammation can be controlled through proteins that regulation the formation of inflammatory cytokines. That's just what that causes the painful flares of autoimmune disease. At the same time, though, I was parenting a very ill son. My son, Kevin, has multiple health concerns. He hit 17 months, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. At that age, it resulted in acquired brain injury. He developed Hashimoto's thyroid disease, severe leaky gut, and then finally epilepsy. 19 years ago, when he entered middle school, we pulled him out of school to homeschool him. That was just, that middle school environment was just too much for him. And 16 years ago, I started my own wellness business with USANA Health Sciences. I was looking for a way to be flexible and stay home with my son and care for him and school, teach him, but also provide value to others. And so now I share 16 years later, I share the benefits. Today, I'm going to share how plant-based nutrients communicate with our cells to help us all live a more vibrant and healthy life. I do a lot of things. I love to help people incorporate healthy habits into their life. So this is just really one aspect of what I do. I also founded a community called Living Well Connections, which helps educate and support others discover a healthy life they love. And this is a free community. So if you'd like to join it, just ask. So I'll go to the next slide. So this is a picture of my mother and myself. We usually start thinking of aging and aging healthy once we reach 60, or maybe is earlier than that. But actually, we should be preparing for a healthy lifespan in our 20s, focusing on nutrition as well as lifestyle choices we make every single day. So in these pictures, my mom and I, actually my mom is wonderful, fantastic, 95 years old now. But in the picture, she was 5 years younger than I am in the picture to the right. So even though she's younger than me, her skin is already showing some signs of aging. And there's other signs, internal signs she faced too. Although she was stayed active, she already had degenerative arthritis pretty severely by the time she was 35 years old. And I too was developing arthritis in my hands by the time I was 40, but now have no hint of it at all at over 60 years. Now, as we get older, we start thinking about degenerative diseases. In fact, many of the symptoms of aging are attributed to chronic inflammation. And you can think of that big red ball in the middle. I mean, that could just be inflammation, because inflammation causes so many different symptoms and so many different diseases, chronic inflammation in particular, including heart disease, neurodegenerative diseases, type 2 diabetes, cancer, respiratory diseases, as well as we're seeing this year, aging-related complications and susceptibilities of infectious communicable diseases, viruses. Now, a lot of you probably have already seen a slide like this, free radicals, because for many, many years, the free radical theory of aging has been the most popular concept in the area of aging. The basic idea is that organisms age because they accumulate oxidative damage. in this picture, here's the evil free radical is attacking healthy cells in order to gain an electron. It's missing an electron. It wants an electron. So it steals it from healthy molecules, healthy cells. Throughout our daily life, we have excessive free radicals forming because of unhealthy diets, sedentary lifestyles, smoking, alcohol, and then environmental factors out of our control, such as the pollution and radiation. And in order for our cells to gain energy to live, we actually form our own free radicals inside us. The mitochondria in our cells produce free radicals, just during normal metabolism. So as you're getting energy, from your cells, for your cells, it's putting off free radicals. So what have we done? So many times over the past 50 years, we've been trying to fight free radicals by eating mega doses of antioxidants, A, C, E, beta carotene. There's all kinds of companies out there that are just basically antioxidants, antioxidants, antioxidants. But sadly, when you're looking at recent research done since 2010, we haven't been able to find any clear evidence that high-dose antioxidants either increase health or longevity. Now, we're not saying that these vitamins A, C, and E are not good for you. They're each very important and essential to our diet and involved in a host of cellular functions and are vitally important part of our overall nutrition. And we do know, I'm sure everybody here knows, that diets filled with fresh fruits and vegetables provide excellent health benefits and reduce a lot of those degenerative diseases, risks of those. So, could it be that free radicals and dietary antioxidants don't actually work the way we thought they did? All right, this is a little bit more complicated slide, but don't worry about it. Because there's been a shift in our understanding of what free radicals are all about. We now understand that some free radicals and reactive molecules are actually essential to signaling our cells and play important roles in cellular function. This includes regulating our blood pressure, gene expression, cell signaling, protein activation, cell turnover, and our body's immune response. So, nature's pretty smart. Nature's learned to live with the free radicals produced by our mitochondria through energy production and actually uses them to our advantage. Now, this redox theory of aging is based on a balancing act of our cells being in an oxidized reactive state here versus this reduced, more stable state. And basically we have a teeter-totter effect, kind of like, I don't know if you were a kid, but I used to love to balance on the teeter-totter out on the playground and just try to stay balanced or try to walk up and down them. So you have this little feeling. And so the idea is you want to stay on this even thing. You want to have the benefits of the free radicals, but you don't want them to overwhelm us. So what happens here is as we get older, as we get in our 40s, this starts shifting and start tipping downward over to more of the cells are in that oxidized state and more of the reactivity is happening with damage, DNA damage, and all kinds of damage inside our cells. This actually is really what causes our susceptibility because what we want to do is get back on that teeter-totter and we want to stay in a nice balance. So how do we do that? Well, if you want to fight oxidative stress, it's important to understand both exogenous antioxidants and endogenous antioxidants. Now, exogenous antioxidants are the ones we all think of when we just think of antioxidants. They come from our food. They come from supplements sometimes. They're very important, but they're limited because they only reach as many free radicals as they can touch. And they're outside the cells. They're in our bloodstream. So they may be in the lymph. I'm not sure. Somebody could correct me on that. But endogenous antioxidants are made by our own body. It's very interesting. So you can think of them as machines that are churning out molecules to quench free radicals. They give your cells a better defense against oxidative stress. And if you want the ultimate defense against free radicals, you need both the exogenous antioxidants and the endogenous antioxidants. Now, don't be scared. These names are funny names, but they are actually protein names, and the easiest way to talk about them is by their abbreviations. NRF2 and NF-kappa B are proteins that control this redox balance in the cell through cell signaling. They control the formation of endogenous antioxidants, and they regulate inflammatory cytokines. Those cytokines are proteins that cause that pain and inflammation in your body. Our lifestyle activates NRF2 and inactivates NF-kappa B through exercise, calorie restriction, which includes fasting, intermittent fasting, and eating plant-based nutrients that are also NRF2 activators and NF-kappa B deactivators. You want the NF-kappa B to be deactivated because that reduces the cytokines. The NRF2 increases the endogenous antioxidants. They kind of both work together. So, these are some of the nutrients that support NRF2 activation. We call them polyphenols. They actually work really specifically that activate that protein that, again, activates endogenous antioxidants. So these are foods we all want to eat. Grape seeds, resveratrol. We all have heard of the resveratrol, the French, the red wine, and why would that be so healthy? Well, it's not just red wine; it's the grape seeds and the berries too have resveratrol in them. Curcumin, turmeric, quercetin from berries and onions and apples and a lot of other vegetables too. And let's see if I can get the pronunciation. Sulforaphane, got it. Those are the cruciferous vegetables, the broccoli. And then also antioxidants in the green tea, the EGCG is very excellent. So we're not just eating them just because they're good. I mean, well, they are good for us, but we're eating them because they do specific things that help us. Now, it's important to understand that NRF2 signaling pathway evolved over all these thousands of years to use not any specific polyphenol, but the entire variety of plants in our diet. Different nutrients activate NRF2 by different mechanisms, and when taken together, they're synergistic or more effective than when taken separately. So what do? You want to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables, what a lot of us teach people to do. Now, two of the healthiest diets in the world, the traditional Mediterranean diet and the Okinawan diet, they're both rich in polyphenol nutrients. Well, unfortunately, very few people actually follow any diet rich in fruits and vegetables that protect our body's cells. For example, in a recent survey, 8 out of 10 people stated they have extremely healthy or very healthy diets. However, only 1 in 5, when they looked at the actual food journals, what they were eating, only 1 in 5 had what would be considered a regular healthy diet. We eat the wrong foods. We eat calorie-rich but nutrient-poor foods with few freshly grown fruits and vegetables. And the result is devastating. The result is that 70% of US adults are overweight or obese and suffer from abnormal redox balance and high levels of inflammation. This is, again, more about the redox teeter-totter. Just can you imagine if your body simply gave up and let the sick and dying cells accumulate? Your body would be a mess. So your body can't wait for a special cleaning day to roll around. It's constantly repairing, maintaining, and recycling cells. This happens on a large scale everywhere in your body. And it also happens inside each cell too, because they all do their own form of cellular cleaning. It's called autophagy, which means self-eating, which kind of sounds gross, but it's an important normal part of a healthy body. Basically, autophagy is the formal name for the recycling process your body's cells go through. It's where cells recycle damaged or used up parts into their most basic components. Then the small pieces can be reused. Mitophagy is more specific. It's the same type of cleanup process for the mitochondria inside each cell, and it results in fresh, efficient mitochondria and increased energy with less production of free radicals, because as mitochondria get older, they shoot off, they're less efficient. So I'm not going to go through the whole process, but it's a visual for you. Every single one of these processes, though, are initiated by plant-based nutrients through cell signaling, and they're all dependent on a wide variety of polyphenols in fruits and vegetables, an active lifestyle, and periods of calorie restriction or fasting. Now I'm going to show you another protein, mTOR. It's a funny name, but it's very important. Autophagy is stimulated by stress, by exercise, and by reduced calorie intake, or by plant-based polyphenols. It stimulates NRF2. But when we eat a high-calorie, low-nutrient diet with bad fats and too much sugar and don't exercise, our cells stimulate mTOR. Now, mTOR reduces that autophagy, but it allows the body to continue to build more cells, fat, lazy cells, that increase oxidative stress for our whole body. So without autophagy and mitophagy, we face increased risk of serious chronic diseases. Again, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, a significant risk of cancer. And that's what happens when our bodies are locked in to the mTOR mode. So what do? Yes, we want to eat a healthy diet with a variety of fruits and vegetables that have these important polyphenols. Yes, we want to exercise. We want to get off the sofa. We want to walk. We want to move. We want to, take the steps at work or park the car at the other end of the parking lot instead of closest to the store. Think about considering intermittent fasting. I heard that a number of people here help with that, and you can start. The easiest way to start is with a 12-hour. You're sleeping through a lot of that, so just don't eat after supper, and just it gives your body time, your digestive system a time to rest, and it also turns on the NRF2, and also include a high quality supplement. And this is a part that I adore. This is the supplement that I've been on for now 16 years, USANA Cell Essentials. And that's my recommendation. I'm sure there's other good ones, but USANA Cell Essentials are a little different than others. They do have the broad range of quality micronutrients, and it's very carefully formulated to both nourish, protect, and renew our cells, because it's much more than just a simple multivitamin. The cell essentials go beyond simply supporting good health with nutrients. They help activate some of your cell's responses that keep you healthy with a patented intelligence technology. This is a cell signaling technology that includes specific ratios of polyphenols in it. The responses that this is an NRF2 response and other responses promote youthful cellular function so your body can adapt to your own unique lifestyle needs and help you age well. I'm just letting you read that slide. Lots of different things it does. And it's been tested. And like I told you, it does have a US patent, so it's very unique. And it's been tested by quite a few different third-party laboratories, and it has quite a few certifications too. And just in conclusion, we live too short and die too long. We're living longer in poor health than ever before. Our quantity of life is increasing while our quality of life is decreasing in spite of our ever-rising standard of living. We're overfed and undernourished. Thank you so much. That was by Dr. Myron Wentz, who actually designed and developed this supplement. So here's my information for you, and I'm open for questions.
That was great information. So what is the supplements? There are vitamins, but there's whole food. Can you explain more of what they are?
Yeah, these are pharmaceutical grade supplements. It is a mix of vitamins and minerals, but it also has some of those cofactors in there. And what it's doing is, if you've ever seen a chart of the whole metabolism system, all our body systems, Dr. Wentz really studied that very thoroughly for his work with virology and for human cells. And he just incorporated the ratios are so very important. But it also adds in this technology, this intelligence technology, which are specific polyphenols that turn on the NRF2. And actually, they also turn on they regulate a number of pathways. I'm gonna stop my sharing so I can see people's faces. So if you want more, a lot of it, if you want more information specifically about the cell essentials, I'm very happy to send you. We have a couple of articles that explain very well that are from the scientists, but they're also written in a way that, if you don't have a degree in biochemistry, you can understand it.
That was wonderful, Robin. Thank you so much. I love the quote at the end. I mean, it's pretty sad talking about how we're slowly dying instead of living.
It is very sad. And that's sort of our, the purpose is we want to live healthy. I mean, I'd love to live healthy until I just drop dead.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, my mother has been on these for 16 years, even though she had not a very terribly rough start because she was stopped because she was active and she ate well. But she's been on these. And she, like I said, she's 95 and she's doing extremely well. And I really think that, she hasn't developed any further chronic degenerative diseases than she had in her 30s.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive. At 95 now. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so I love the presentation, but I wanted to see if you could tell us a little bit more about the community that you manage or you created. What is exactly?
Absolutely. I'd love to. I started the community 5 years ago as a give back. My son, as I told you, he has numerous health needs. And over the years, I've discovered practitioners who really helped him. I wanted to support them. So I started off as a group of practitioners, but it opened it up to anyone interested in wellness, a lot like what you have here in your networking thing. But I run it a little different way. I have a free private Facebook group and I encourage people to share their expertise and their stories. And we just really talk about a holistic approach. So we talk about everything. And I also have once a month, I have a lunch and learn where I bring a practitioner in to speak, or I speak. And it used to be meeting at lunch, but now it's virtual, so anyone can attend.